Welcome back to Global Wheel Hub, where we break down the most exciting machines on 2 wheels and 4 wheels from around the world in full detail. No shortcuts, no filters, just pure riding passion and engineering talk. Today we are diving into something special, something that blends nostalgia with modern engineering in a way only a few manufacturers can truly pull off: the 2026 Kawasaki W1 SS. Now before we get into the numbers and the tech, you need to understand what this machine represents, because the W1 SS is not just another retro-styled motorcycle, it is Kawasaki paying tribute to its own heritage while pushing forward into a refined modern classic segment that riders have been demanding for years. The W1 lineage itself goes back to Kawasaki's early big displacement 4-stroke motorcycles, known for their long-stroke torque-heavy character and old-school road presence, and the 2026 W1 SS carries that spirit but refines it with today's engineering, electronics, and materials. From the first glance, the design hits you immediately. It's a blend of 1960s classic roadster styling with modern premium detailing. You get a teardrop-shaped fuel tank with deep metallic paint options, polished chrome accents around the engine casing, and a beautifully sculpted single-round LED headlamp that looks vintage at first but is fully modern in performance. The body lines are clean, almost minimalist, yet muscular where it matters. The stance is upright, confident, and slightly aggressive without losing its classic identity, and Kawasaki has paid serious attention to detail here. Even the seat stitching has a handcrafted feel, with a ribbed leather texture that enhances both comfort and aesthetics. Moving to the engine, this is where the W1 SS really starts to define itself. It is powered by a 998cc parallel twin engine, air-oil cooled with modern fuel injection, tuned specifically for low and mid-range torque delivery rather than extreme top-end racing performance. This engine produces around 92 horsepower at approximately 7,500 revolutions per minute and a strong 95 Nm of torque at just 5,500 revolutions per minute, which means this bike is not about screaming at high revs, it is about that deep, rolling acceleration that feels smooth, controlled, and endlessly usable on real roads. The throttle response is crisp but not aggressive, making it perfect for both relaxed cruising and spirited weekend rides, and Kawasaki has tuned the engine mapping with 3 riding modes: Standard, Sport, and Rain, each adjusting throttle sensitivity and traction control behavior. Mated to this engine is a 6-speed gearbox that feels mechanical and solid, giving you that satisfying click between gears that enthusiasts love, and a slipper clutch comes standard, reducing rear wheel hop during aggressive downshifts while keeping clutch lever effort surprisingly light. On the performance side, the 2026 W1 SS is not built to compete with hypersport machines, and it never tries to be. Instead, it focuses on real-world rideability. It can comfortably cruise at highway speeds around 120 to 140 km/h without strain, and still has enough torque to overtake effortlessly without downshifting aggressively. The suspension setup is another highlight. Up front you get telescopic forks tuned for comfort with a slight sporty edge, while the rear features twin shock absorbers that are adjustable for preload, maintaining that classic motorcycle silhouette while still delivering modern damping control. What this translates to on the road is a smooth ride quality that absorbs bumps confidently, especially on uneven city roads or long countryside stretches, and unlike many retro bikes that feel stiff or outdated, the W1 SS manages to balance comfort and stability very effectively. Braking performance is handled by dual front disc brakes with radial mounted calipers and a single rear disc, supported by dual-channel ABS, and Kawasaki has tuned the braking system to feel progressive rather than sharp, giving riders better control especially in urban traffic conditions. Now let's talk about the ride experience, because this is where the W1 SS starts to separate itself from typical modern motorcycles. You sit slightly upright with a relaxed handlebar position, your feet are placed in a neutral mid-set position, and the seat cushioning is wide enough for long-distance comfort. This is not a crouched aggressive posture, this is a motorcycle designed for connection with the road and the environment around you. When you start the engine, there is a deep mechanical pulse, not overly loud, but rich and emotional. It feels alive in a very analog way. Despite being a modern fuel-injected machine, Kawasaki has clearly tuned the exhaust note to mimic the classic thump of older twin-cylinder engines while keeping emissions compliance intact. As you ride, the torque delivery is the star of the show. You don't need to constantly chase high RPMs, instead you surf the torque curve, and the bike responds instantly with smooth but strong forward motion. At lower speeds, it feels calm and composed, perfect for city commuting, but open the throttle in second or third gear and it transforms into a relaxed but powerful cruiser that pulls cleanly and confidently. The handling is stable rather than razor sharp, the wheelbase is slightly extended to enhance straight-line stability, and while it is not designed for aggressive track cornering, it handles twisty roads with predictable balance and a reassuring sense of grip. Now moving to technology, Kawasaki has been careful not to overstuff the W1 SS with unnecessary electronics, instead it focuses on meaningful rider aids. You get a modern TFT display cleverly integrated into a retro-styled circular housing. It supports navigation, ride data, fuel economy tracking, and smartphone connectivity. There is also traction control, riding mode selection, ABS, and a basic cruise control system which works beautifully for highway touring. Lighting is fully LED across the bike, including headlamp, indicators, and tail light, but designed in a way that still preserves the vintage aesthetic.